Hi everybody, welcome to the first installment of the free video series. I'm Jimmy T, Jim Turk from BeatMyDisease.com, and I want to talk to you today about the control method and really what I talk about, or what I mean when I talk about things like the control method. Really what I'm getting at is control is an acronym, and so no matter what your experience in life, if it's weight issue you're trying to resolve, or mental issues, mental health issues, or disease issues. In my case, I have MS, multiple sclerosis, which is autoimmune disease. You always, probably no matter what the situation, you're always feeling like you're losing control, right? Like you've lost control and you want to just throw your hands in the air. And so what I'm telling you is that's actually not something you want to do. I'm convinced, and one thing that I do a lot of and I do a lot of research on is trying to figure out things that you can control in your life. Now, I have a pretty strong scientific background, master's degree in biotechnology, did a lot of nutrition studying for my undergrad, have a high level sort of research admin job at a college campus. It's also just an interest of mine, and I have the patient perspective. So, I have all those things kind of going for me or against me, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But the whole point is that I want to help you. I want you to help me. We're in this together. I'm not necessarily saying that I have all the answers, but I certainly have some of the answers and can help you figure out ways to resolve your issues. But I'm hoping you can do that for me as well. So control is an acronym. When I talk about the things you can control and kind of the main areas that I want to talk about and that I think about and that I'll go through in this video series, is the C in control in this video will be for confidence. And confidence means a lot of things, and I'll get into that in a second. O, the first O, is for outlook. And when you think about outlook, you think about optimism and all this kind of stuff. Really what you'll find and what you'll read about, the research says, and definitely what you feel, is that your outlook has a huge bearing on how you feel. And when you feel better, when you feel good, that's for a reason. And so you're going to get better, you're going to be able to heal because you're making yourself feel better. And that outlook and not looking at the negative side of things and optimism is really a big part of that. The N in control is for nutrition. This is a huge one, and certainly something I have a big background in. But if you think about nutrition, you can control anything you put in your body. You have complete control over that. So what you're deciding to eat and how you decide to eat it is really all in your control. It's something you can control, and I'll help you by outlining what the major principles are, what my experiences are, and certainly what the research says. And so we'll go through all of that. That T in control is for training. You want to think about training your mind, but you mostly want to think about training your body and exercise. Again, lots of research, but certainly my experience as well. I have issues with temperature in my own body, and so it's important for me to get the most bang for the buck, and I'm going to show you how to do that, how to get the most benefit from what you're doing. The R in control is for rest and relaxation. In terms of getting enough rest, we can certainly look at the CDC and see that, I don't know what it is, something like 80 million Americans don't get enough sleep, and all the benefits of sleep that the body receives. But certainly relaxation. We're in a more stressful environment. I'm going to teach you how to calm down as much as possible, and you're going to find that has a huge impact on your mental and physical health. So I want to help you do that. The R, that was the R. So the second O in control is for, so the first one was for outlook and optimism. The second one is for others. When we think about others, think about that social interaction and how much benefit you're going to see from that. Not only because you get what you give, and we've all heard that in songs, but it's not just a dreamy idea. These are true honest to goodness things, and there's been research to show that, and I'll go through that with you as well. And then the L in control is for lifting your spirits. We want to talk about lifting your spirits and different ways to do that. But like I said at the start, when you think about feeling better and things that make you feel good, well, that's making you feel good for a reason. Your body's secreting all sorts of hormones that are making you feel good, that are doing good things for your body. So it's a better environment for healing as well. And so I want to be able to teach you how to do that. You can change your attitude, your focus, how you feel right now if you do the right things to lift your spirits. So I want to teach you all that. Anyway, the first C in control, again, is for confidence. Now, when we think about confidence, it can mean a couple of different things, but they're all important, right? We think about confidence in terms of self-confidence and carrying ourselves differently. And that certainly has a big impact on your health and well-being. We're talking about how you present yourself to other people, but that goes two ways. So you present yourself to other people in a better, more confident manner, and then they're going to respond to you in that same way. And so what you're doing is you're basically building an environment where things are going to move and go in your favor, and you're always going to feel like, well, this is something I can certainly succeed at, and I don't have to be afraid of this, for example. And that's really, really going to help how you feel, how your body responds. And so these are all things that I really want you to pay close attention to. When we think about confidence, we think about the placebo effect. Now, this is a huge one, and this is probably one of the biggest things in this whole program that you're going to have to look at. We think about the placebo effect, we think about confidence. We're talking about the confidence that something will work. We're talking about the confidence that everything you're doing is going to have a positive impact on your life. And so when we talk about things in the control program, that's a big part of it. And so we want to be confident that everything that we're doing is working and is going to work. The placebo effect, we talk about things that have an effect on drugs that we take, for example. So the FDA tries really hard to reduce the impact of the placebo effect and eliminate that as a possibility. And so they'll do what are called double-blind trials, clinical trials, to try to prevent that from happening, from eliminating that as a possibility. Doctors talk about it, and it's certainly something that they are aware of, that you have to be aware of. There's actually not a lot of research on it. So it's one of those things where we all know that it happens. We all know that we want to do everything we can to avoid it, but nobody's really talking about why it happens. And so I want to use that to our advantage, right? With the placebo effect, that's just an indication that the body can heal itself. I mean, we know that DNA repairs itself. We know that the whole fake it till you make it thing. I mean, we know that there's research to show that if you hold a pencil in your mouth, it forces you to sort of smile, to just hold your mouth differently, but just that sort of smiling, that forced effort, makes you a happier person in general. And this is something they've done research on through surveys and everything else. So it's just one of those, again, fake it till make it. So it may sound corny, but it's true. And the placebo effect, you can't argue with the fact that that's something that everybody's concerned with, and nobody's really saying why for sure it happens. We don't know, or they don't know why it happens, but it happens. So I'm saying use that to your advantage. You have to be confident. You have to know that what you're doing is working. You have to know that it's going to help you and benefit your health, physical and mental, in some way. It's that whole self-fulfilling prophecy thing. It's certainly going to have a huge, major impact on how you live your life. So I really, really want you to do that. So again, we're talking about carrying yourself differently. We're talking about, if that means having a tune in your head, a good song, something that brings back good memories. And I'm not talking about just when you think of it. I'm talking about train yourself to do those things all of the time. If it's something funny you heard, if it's a good song, a great piece of artwork that you get really sort of emotional when you think about, mean, think about those things all the time, because that's going to change your focus. It's going to change how you carry yourself, and it's going to make you present yourself better. And the result of that is going to be that you're received better, and it's a cascading effect. So it's going to have a much bigger impact on how you carry yourself and how your body is able to heal itself and repair the damage that's been done. So again, you know, do all this stuff, write it down. There's a lot of research to show that if you write it down, then you're committed to doing that stuff, and it's going to have a much more positive and likely impact of working in your life. So as you come up with these ideas, write them down. Write down not that these are beneficial, but that these are things you're doing. Put them in your calendar, schedule them. You know, I'm going to do this at this time every day. I'm gonna remember to sing this great song, or have it at least going in my head 4 times a day. At this time, at lunchtime, at 5 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, whatever the case is. You know, you have to have that confidence, that self-confidence, to not really care about social faux pas, to not worry about what other people are saying. I mean, we're talking about, you know, people that may, you know, if you act animated or silly, that makes you feel better. The way to look at that is, I don't care what they think of me. I know my job isn't to worry about what they're thinking about me. It's none of my business. But the other way to look at it is, you might be improving their life. So they might see you singing along in your car or something like that as you're moving along, and you might feel silly at first. You get over it. I mean, after the first time or second time, it's like a Band-Aid. Once it's gone, and it's fine, and you don't even think about it anymore. The other part of it is, you might be making their life better, right? So, you know, if somebody spots you acting silly in a car, you might feel silly. They might kind of point it out to their friend or something like that. But the reality is, you probably made their life better, right? You probably improved their attitude, because now they have something fun to talk about, whatever. So they're really seeing an improvement, and you're seeing an improvement because you're being animated. You're singing along, you're happy, you're also getting all those nerves firing and getting that blood flowing. That's a big deal, that's important. It seems like a little thing, but that's what we're talking about, is all these little things that you can control that are gonna add up to something major. So that's really what I want you to think about doing. And I want you not only to think about it, but to actually do it and put these things into practice. So if you have any questions, certainly write them in the comment section. You can also send me emails, whatever. Certainly, I would really encourage you to sign up for my email list. And once you get that list, once you're on that list, or your friends are on that list, you get, you know, more videos in the same series, as well as other things like blog updates, podcasts, other videos that I make, things like that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this free video. I hope things are going well for you, and that you're definitely making a good step towards improving your life. So thank you very much. Again, Jimmy T, beatmydisease.com. We'll see you around. Thanks much.